And so, yeah, it is what it is, guys. I don't know. It's up to you. 8:15, Thursday, March 31st. Let's go ahead and get into our link update now. Thank you guys on Facebook Live for your comments. We'll actually get into our link update after we do our CNMI special report, sir. Okay, we're going to get a little flexible because I know Tomas has got a lot going on in the CNMI. And so let's go ahead and get right into it. He is our regional correspondent with this special report. Up next, good morning, Tomas.
Good morning, Chris. Yes, I'm outside of the Goma Justicia, the third branch of government here in the CNMI, as the CNMI governor's attorneys are, for the first time, going to be facing off directly with the CNMI House of Representatives, specifically the JGO committee, which issued that legislative subpoena early on in the process in their investigation in the House before they voted to impeach Governor Ralph Torres. Today, basically, the big question is whether or not that legislative subpoena was valid. And as we know, for the first time in CNMI history, Governor Ralph Torres was held in contempt for violating that legislative subpoena, in addition to his executive assistant, Francis de la Cruz, Francis de la Cruz did appear before the committee, but spoke through her lawyers in a way that they deemed insufficient. And Governor Torres, right off the bat, issued his own press release saying he believes he needs to protect the executive seat and doesn't want to set the precedence of the legislature being able to, conduct this type of legislative action, even though their argument is that it's a matter of checks and balances. Chris, that's going to get underway in just under an hour inside Wesley Bogdan's courtroom. We're going to be able to go inside and sit down and listen and hopefully get one-on-one interviews with attorneys from both the House and the governor's team. We understand that on the House's side, the legal counsel, Brendan Lade, will be representing their JGO committee. But Chris, as you saw yesterday and as we reported yesterday, there was that House press conference in which they said that they were going to file their notice of appearance. Karina Magofnia, Representative Magofnia, deciding not to take on the House prosecutor role herself. Instead, the House leadership decided to name 5 members who they believe are fit to represent the House in its prosecution in the Senate impeachment trial. Again, that's a different process from what's playing out today here at Superior Court, but wanted to bring you the latest. They recommend that Representatives BJ Attal, Representative Selena Babauta, Representative Leila Staffler, and Representative Donna Manglona and Karina Magofnia serve not just as serve together as one unit, as one prosecutorial team. Yesterday, Representative Karina Magofnia did in fact share a lengthy response to the Senate President's appointment of her as the House prosecutor in the Senate impeachment trial. So Chris, if we're able to, we wanted to play the first clip that we have of Representative Karina Magofnia responding to the Senate's notice. And she says in this clip that she's putting Senate President on notice. So go ahead and take a listen to Representative Magofnia responding to Senate President Jude Hofschneider yesterday at the House chamber.
Based on this, I respectfully put you on notice, Mr. Senate President, that the House stands ready to prosecute the governor, Representative BJ Attal, Selena Babauta, Donald Manglona, Leila Staffler, and I have been preparing as a unit to prosecute. Based on this, I Mr. Senate President, that the House stands ready to prosecute the governor, Representative BJ Attal, Selena Babauta, Donald Manglona, Leila Staffler, and I have been preparing as a unit to prosecute.
And so, Chris, that was Representative Karina Magofnia's response. I wanted to read more of her response yesterday. She goes, finally, I note on March 23rd in a statement to the media, you invited the House to suggest one of its members who would be willing to present the case against the governor. you clearly stated, I will recognize that member. She says, again, that she is putting the Senate president rather on notice. She says, you requested one prosecutor, but they've chosen a team consisting of 5 members that we mentioned. The Senate has no right, Karina Magofnia says, to ignore our decision and proceed without us. CNMI House Speaker Edmund Villagomez was also able to respond directly to the Senate president. So we wanted to play this clip for our viewers on the CNMI House Speaker Edmund Villagomez's response to the Senate president regarding the matter of impeachment.
To do. And we've made our sentiments and our statements clear time after time, and they've been pretty consistent with what we are or asking for. You know, untie our hands a little bit more so that we can go through the process more fairly. Thank you.
All right, Chris, so that was CNMI House Speaker Edmund Villagomez responding directly to the Senate, asking the Senate to untie House leadership's hands and allow them to not only prosecute the case fairly, but have this prosecutorial team move forward and in the way that they deem fit as an equal branch of government, as an equal part of the House. I wanted to share a bit of his statement that he delivered yesterday. He says, as you have stated in the media, the CNMI Constitution does not provide any language on the issue of who should determine who prosecutes the Governor Torres in the Senate. This is the CNMI House Speaker. He says, Article 2 of the CNMI Constitution provides that the House of Representatives may initiate proceedings by the affirmative vote of 2/3 of its members, and the Senate may convict after hearing by the affirmative vote of 2/3 of its members. CNMI House Speaker Edmund Villagomez adds, thus the Constitution provides that the Senate listen to the evidence, not determine who presents it. Again, that being a major key point here from House leadership yesterday at their press conference that lasted over an hour. Again, he says, the CNMI Constitution provides that the Senate listen to evidence, not determine who presents it. And someone else who weighed in yesterday was also Vice Speaker B.J. Attal. In this next clip, you'll hear him explain what is going to be the next steps if the Senate simply won't budge.
Well, there's other steps. There's still another branch of government that we can take this to. If they're going to take away the opportunity for the House to represent this body in the impeachment process, or even stripped us with any authority to proceed in the Senate trial, there's obviously a next level we can go to. We don't want to get to that next level at this point. We want to make sure that we're given the opportunity. Obviously,
And so, Chris, again, that was Vice Speaker B.J. Attal who saw this process play out. Him being at the helm of the initial inquiry that happened in the previous legislature, to him being part of the JGO committee that today is here in Superior Court defending their legislative subpoena and their contempt charge of Governor Ralph Torres. And then again, you see him here as a Vice Speaker responding to the matter of impeachment. We should know that it's clear that he is not supporting the current governor, Governor Ralph Torres, in his re-election. However, we have seen him support Lieutenant Governor Arnold Palacios's ticket for the seat on Capitol Hill. Vice Speaker B.J. Attal there echoing as other lawmakers were nodding along, explaining that they in fact would support and would pursue some legal action here in at the CNMI Judiciary if the CNMI Senate simply won't budge in terms of allowing them to have more than one House impeachment prosecutor. Again, yesterday I asked, is this the only issue that is holding you back from fully participating in the Senate impeachment trial? And without a doubt, they said that at least for now, the answer would be yes, that this is a single issue holding back a more smooth process to play out in the Senate impeachment trial. So they say that they're ready to sue if it's the case that the Senate will not change its rules. However, Chris, there's also that motion to dismiss that was filed on Monday by Governor Ralph Torres' personal attorney in the CNMI Senate. This motion to dismiss listing several reasons why the articles of impeachment should not move forward in the Senate. Many of that was about also the Representative Cristina Sablan who's the Democratic nominee for governor this year, her involvement in whether that is ethical on her end. We'll have a full report on that tonight and her response to the critique that she should not have been involved. We should also point out that there was also critique that Governor Rob Torres's Republican running mate, Senator Vinny Sablan, is a sitting senator who will be one of the determining votes in the CNMI Senate impeachment trial. We had him on the link just a few weeks ago. We asked him if he would recuse himself, but he said he wouldn't. But rather he decided not to address the matter directly, saying that it would be a fair trial. But what was also part of the motion to dismiss in their answer from the governor's team was the idea that the House did not follow all of the procedural rules, and that some of their action might have violated the CNMI Constitution. And so we pressed the House. We asked them if they believe that their argument, that their process in the House was airtight by the book, and if they were confident in the way in which they went about investigating the governor in the House. We should note you can't unimpeach a governor. The House's action is and it's final. The vote has happened, but it's fair to ask whether or not they would change anything. So I just wanted to share this one last clip from the CNMI House yesterday. Vice Speaker B.J. Atal, who again has been involved from the very beginning, responded to those questions about whether or not the House went about impeaching the governor, quote unquote, the right way.
Vote, and I believe they got like 16-4 vote back then. So essentially, the JGO committee was what the 17th legislature did.
Yes, sorry, with all due respect, Vice Speaker, it's a yes or no. Was the process done by the book, and are you confident?
In my personal opinion, as a staffer of the legislature in the 17th and as a member of the 22nd legislature, I believe everything that we did in this process is clean cut. As a speaker of the 21st legislature, we even created a special committee. The governor had his opportunities back then. He never took it. The JGO committee gave that same opportunity. So everything that was in the 21st legislature was presented as a communication to the full body that was sent by the speaker after session via memo to the JGO committee. And that gave that opportunity to the JGO committee to investigate those
So you
documents.
have 100% confidence in the House's
In my
approach?
opinion.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Follow.
And so, Chris, there you heard it. We asked him if they had 100% confidence. They said it was clear and clean cut. It was surprising that they probably didn't jump in all at once there to answer that question, whether or not they were confident in their process. That's part of one of the major critiques from the opposition. And I think it was only a fair question, given that the Senate's process continues to be picked apart by everyone who has seen it in public view. And so now part of the inquiry from the opposition is also whether or not everything was done by the book on the House's end. Of course, all of this is up to the lawmakers themselves and whether or not they decide to move forward and negotiate and make compromises in good faith when it comes to this matter in particular. But we'll see what the tone is here at the NMI Judiciary. For the first time, really, we're seeing the NMI Judiciary's role in this checks and balances process. As you might recall, all Supreme Court justices and all Superior Court justices decided to not preside over the CNMI Senate impeachment trial. They say they want to maintain the balance of power, and most notably, they characterize the Senate, the impeachment process as a purely legislative function. And it was something yesterday that members of the House also admitted. It's quite obvious it's also a political function. And so we'll see today what the governor's personal attorneys argue with regards to the contempt charge and legislative subpoena. And we'll also see what the House argues in terms of that legislative subpoena and the contempt charge, which again was historic. This will be interesting. I think a lot of people might be looking at the arguments. I believe a lot of people might be looking at the arguments and maybe it will foreshadow some of the arguments that will happen in the Senate impeachment trial. This will be the first venue in which both parties are on equal footing in terms of setting up the rules, the dynamics. We're going to see the House and we're going to see the governor's team on equal footing in front of a judge. And again, that judge, Timothy Bellis, stepping in after Superior Court judges recused themselves all 5 Superior Court judges recused themselves from hearing this case. So Judge Timothy Bellis, who is a retired judge, is returning to this bench after he came from the mainland to entertain this case. So Chris, that's some of the latest developments. In a minute or two, we're gonna go ahead and walk on in. We did see, as I was doing my live report here, Representative Karina Magofnia walked in. It's unclear if any other House lawmakers will attend. I think it will be telling who does attend, but we do know that Brendan Lade is the CNMI House Legal Counsel who will be speaking on behalf of the JGO committee. So again, we're here at the NMI Judiciary, and if you're wondering what's going to happen, you can tune in at noon on Hotspot with Bree and Jason. We'll have a live update from outside of this court with what transpires here in the Superior Court with regards to the impeachment proceedings. And again, this matter in front of the court is specifically about the JGO's committee's actions and that legislative subpoena that Governor Torres was held in contempt for, Chris.
Well, Tomas, definitely seems like things are ramping up over there, and so we should anticipate another update from you later today.
Yes, noon on Hotspot. Lots of information to get up to speed in, so don't miss it at noon on Hotspot across our platforms.
Miss a hotspot, miss a lot. I like the sound of that.
That's right.
Thank you, Tomas.
Thanks, Chris.
All right, Tomas Manglona doing a great job covering a regional news here for us in the CNMI. It's 8:32. Quick break.